Kurt, have you ever had an issue using Power Apps with your workstation?
Sometimes, yeah, once in a while.
Sometimes.
Once in a while.
Have you ever had the case, maybe, I don't know, last week, where you're trying to open a project within a tenant and the
Yeah,
thing just sits there and won't open up?
yeah,
And you've got a coworker that can get in just fine. You've got an alternate computer and you still can't open still can't open the project.
yeah.
And you're starting to think that I don't know, maybe if I were in your shoes having that same issue, I might be wondering, what's up? Is there something in my house?
Yeah, something about my
Something's
location or something. Yeah.
um, there might be a lot of use cases for this. So the title of this is creating an Azure virtual machine for Power Apps development. Now, it doesn't have to be what you're going to learn here. You could just create a workstation and use it for whatever. Um, and we'll go through the steps of this. I'm going to share my screen
Yeah.
and move some stuff around here. Um, I think I will show the overlay to cover up all that junk I had there at the top. So I've logged into my Azure account here. So if you go to portal.azure.com, this should come up. And let me see if I can. I'm actually going to paste this link and show it on the screen. Okay. This might look trying to give it some good contrast there. Portal.azure.com. Okay. And you could go out to Azure and create a free account if you want to sort of follow along and create a virtual machine. So there's all kinds of things that we can do here within Azure. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and show you some of the things that you have at your disposal. Okay, and one of those things, of course, is a virtual machine. So you see all these things that we could do. This is we do all kinds of cool stuff, and we could probably tie our Power Apps into some of these things. That would be sort of fun. But today we're going to focus on a virtual machine. Okay.
Right.
And what I'm hoping, Kurt, is that we could create a new virtual machine and you'd be able to remote desktop into it. And hopefully you won't have the issue that you're having, this week. So I'm going to click on create virtual machine. This might be interesting with some preset configuration. I'd almost like to make it simple and say, hey, just give me a Windows machine. So I'm going to click on the second option and see what the see what the options are. Now I do want a dev box. Okay. And a lot of times you could create virtual machines for servers. So if you wanted your own SQL server, your own IIS server, or really anything that will run services, you might want to actually pick production. And I'm going to look at this general purpose, memory optimized, compute optimized. So these are the options that we have going to a preset. I'm going to also look at the options we have here. Create a virtual machine hosted by Azure. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, this is interesting. So we've got a lot of options here. So let's see. I'm not really wanting to pay too much a month. So there's $140 a month. What happens if we were to go in here? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So we can actually pick an image. Have you ever heard that an image? Like if you're building a new computer, if you've got an image of a computer, have you ever heard that, or are you familiar with that at all, Kurt?
Was that a package? Is it like a set of specifications? Is that what you're looking for in that, an image?
A little bit, in a way. So let's say we're an IT department and we're going to deploy, I don't know, 100 computers on the network. and we know that we all that we want to have Windows Professional installed on all of them, maybe a specific version and then a build, version number of that Windows operating system. But we also want to install things like Visual Studio,
Okay.
SQL Server Management Studio. We put all these things on there, and then we'll create a file. And then when a new computer comes in and we need to give it to a new person, we will actually put that image on that hard drive.
Got it.
It's like a hard drive image.
Like in the
So you
old
got
days, it's like the old days when you had a CD-ROM recovery CD-ROM where you could put that on there. Ah,
yeah,
cool, cool.
yeah. So Microsoft, out here on Azure, you've got all kinds of stuff to pick from. We could play around with Linux if you want. We could install Windows Server 2022 if we want. But really, what I'm looking for, you know what my opinion is of Windows 11, right? It's not very high. So I think Windows 10 is going to be great. I think it performs better than Windows 11. Um, so we'll go with a 64-bit processor image here. We go up here to the top and make sure I've got some things selected. I've got a default resource group. Okay. Virtual machine name. And I'll call this Power Apps Workstation. And I'm on the East Coast. I'm going to make it US East. Availability options. Physically separate resources with an Azure region, distribute across multiple fault domains. I'm actually not going to pick anything there. Okay, let's take a look at the size. So the size, we've got different, you see memory options, virtual CPUs. I'm going to go with the cheaper option. Okay. And it looks like it's sort of doing some things. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see these options a little better.
I mean, if we're working with Power Apps, we're not working with a whole lot of. I mean, obviously the our memory constraints, browser memory, but we're not doing a whole lot of saving anything to the local hard drive, right? Or in
Right.
this case, the virtual machine's hard drive.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's all cloud-based development, right?
So really, you should be able to get away with the smallest one, then maybe.
And that's what I was trying to do. Um,
I'm wondering.
rec-
I'm wondering just real quick, Darren, because we're dealing with a lot of images in this one thing that we're working with. I wonder if we're going to need anything bigger than that.
yeah, I'm not sure. So it looks like GIB memory. I'm not familiar with that term. So I mean, if we don't like an image, how it performs, we could just like blow it away and recreate it real quick.
Okay.
But let's go with this one here.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about going with. I mean, if this really is the amount of memory on the computer, I don't know that 3.5 is going to cut it. So, oh look, we got see all sizes. So perhaps we've got some more options here. There's the memory. I at least want 8 gigs of memory.
GIB stands for gigabit.
Okay. Very good. So as long as we have this 8 gigs of memory, okay, I'm gonna go with that one. I'm glad that there were some other options for us to look at. Where I find this would be interesting. So Kurt and I, you and I do a lot of video editing. We perhaps could create a super duper performant virtual machine, like if we need to render videos real quick, and then when we're not doing our video editing, we just shut the machine off, right? And it should be cheaper that way.
I kind of like where you're thinking there.
There's all kinds of use cases for this,
I mean, that's something worth trying. especially for the big ones, especially for the big videos. And remember, people pay big money for this.
Did you know I had that uploaded in the Restream? All right. So I'm going to go in here, enable hibernation. Yeah, let's do that. You must register your subscription. Well, nothing's ever easy, is it, Kurt?
Nope.
I'm going to put in a username here. And we'll call it Power Apps Dev. And then for the password, I think what I'm going to do is generate a strong password up here on another screen. Let's see what I got. All right. I'm going to paste it. Hopefully nobody can see this. We're live on the air here. I don't want anybody to know our password, right? Okay, so inbound. So we definitely want this port opened up in the firewall. And a firewall is something that will keep traffic coming in or going out. There's two sides to the firewall. So it says inbound ports. So if you were to use remote desktop to try to connect to this thing, it's going to use this port. So we need to make sure that port is open. Okay. All traffic from the internet will be blocked by default. You'll be able to change inbound port rules later. I confirm I have an eligible license, and we do have the licensing set up, the M365 licensing already set up. So we're just going to go on to the next one here. We don't need to encrypt the drive. The image default is 127 gigs. I don't think that we need a lot of storage at all.
No.
It's just with any computer, I don't consider anything less than a half a terabyte. But okay, premium solid state drive. I don't know that we need a premium drive. Web servers, lightly used enterprise applications. Let's go with the standard.
I mean, not for the purposes of Power Apps, because Power Apps is going to be using their own gateways, their own systems. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna key management, ultra disk compatibility. Data disks for the workstation. You can add and configure additional data disks for your virtual machine or attach existing. Okay, it also comes with a temporary. Let's hold off on the disks. Let me see if there's anything interesting in the advanced portion. And I'm going to continue with this. Configures your virtual machine automatically shut down daily. And I think I'm going to do that. Kurt, what would you say would be a safe time for this thing not automatically shut down?
well, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? Okay.
I want to say midnight, but that's going to cost you more money, and I just don't know. So
Let's do midnight there.
because sometimes sometimes you'll Kurt, I need this done. And it's might need to be.
Is that what I sound like?
Exactly like that. I worked really hard at the tone too. Exactly the way.
You're funny. Enable backup. I don't know that we need to back up anything. I'm going to go over to monitoring. Okay. I don't know that we really need to. Okay, pass the script configuration file. But yeah, I don't think we need that.
Eh,
Yeah,
eh.
don't need tags. Wonder how fast it will create this virtual machine.
About half fast.
How fast?
Half fast. Half fast.
So it's going to cost me what, 10 cents an hour? So I want you to do your Power Apps development really fast, not half-assed, full fast.
Okay. So 10
Yeah,
cents an hour. So
I just realized earlier today I for some reason created an Oracle virtual machine sitting out there, and I've been paying hundreds of dollars a month for that.
no,
So
no.
yeah. So yeah, you got to pay attention when you're doing things that
Yeah.
if it's just a test or something, you need to get rid of it or have it automatically turn off at a
Oh
certain
my
time every day.
goodness, Darren, they don't give you like an itemized listing of the things that are open right at the moment that you're paying on?
I'm sure I shoulda, coulda, woulda done something, but I
Somewhere,
didn't.
right, somewhere in the deep dark recesses of Microsoft lies Darren's itemized list. Oh, that almost broke my heart, Darren. Okay. How long now? Maybe you don't want to tell me, but how long has it been sitting out there?
Um, I don't remember. I could investigate it. I mean, I
Okay.
literally just
Okay.
realized that a few minutes before we went live here.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all
That's okay.
right. So I'm going to go to the resource. So here we go. Is not ready. Okay. So this virtual machine is not ready. So I'm going to click on this.
Troubleshoot the issue.
Well, it's a brand new virtual machine. There shouldn't be any issues, right?
What do you think?
And maybe it's because it was just created and it thinks it's ready, but then it really wasn't ready. If I try to connect to it, I wonder what would happen here. Okay. It's not started, or the Azure VM agent is in a crashed, unknown, or unhealthy state. Wow, that sounds awful, man.
It does. It does. And and they're not giving you any clues as to which one that is, right? So it may not be anything, and it might be that you are crashed and unhealthy. Golly.
All right. So I am well, here's the IP address.
Okay.
Let's
Now it
see what
says
I got.
it's connecting. It says connecting. Does that, which means it's not connected? Maybe it's in the process of still, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So I can download a RDP file. RDP stands for remote desktop.
Okay.
So I'm going to download the file. Okay. I'm going to do a save as. And what I'm going to do is put this somewhere on a drive that we both have access to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to create a folder here called remote VMs.
Okay.
And that's where I'll put it. Okay. Open the file. All Right.
See if I can see it. Let me see if I can see it. I think I know where it's at.
You want to see if what?
Let me see if I can see it. I'm going to just kind of take a look here.
Yeah.
Look in there, right there. It's right there.
All right, I'm going to try to connect to it here. Now the username is right there, Power Apps Dev. Okay, so it's got that. And so it's just got a little something. I had to put in the password there. All right, let's see if this thing boots up.
If it does, I'll be very impressed. It didn't take you long at all, if that's the case.
Prepare to be impressed, Kurt.
That's it, huh?
There you
Really?
go. There you have it, and there you are.
That's pretty cool, man.
Now, if I would have given it some more processing power, some more memory or something, maybe it would just like poof. All right, ready. What do you want, Darren? You know,
I mean, it literally is. See, I've never really experienced this process before, so this is kind of cool. So it literally is a computer.
that it is a virtual computer.
That's pretty,
I mean, this is the future.
yeah.
Even with even on-premise servers. When I worked for the state of Florida, they had a big server room with a bunch of computers, and everything was virtual. You can create virtual servers and assign it so many processors and
So now all I've
memory and
got to
everything.
do, I can hook into this just by using this this RDP file.
Yes, yeah. You have the logon, the password. I sent the password to you. And I guess I'm gonna go with the default values here.
I'm going to try it right now. Can I try it? Can I get on at the same time you're doing it?
Well, it will probably kick me out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just hold on.
I will.
To be discovered by other PCs. No. Now, what I will try to do, I'm going to pull up Microsoft Edge. Edge isn't really my favorite browser, but it's my favorite browser to do Microsoft work in because I can create profiles and such. So let me. I don't know that I want to do that. Let's not do this. I'm trying to click off of this. It's not allowing me to do anything. It's wanting me to add a new account. Okay. I don't. Okay, yeah, without the data. Confirm and continue. Continue without the data. My goodness. It drives me nuts. Pop-ups and like all these wizards and things. They won't allow you to just use it. I don't know. No, I don't want any of this. I feel like it's going to give me a sales presentation on why I should always be using Edge. I'm going to go out to powerapps.com. Look at this. All right, so the question is, we're going to sign into the tenant that we need to sign into offline and sort of test everything out. And I believe it's going to work just great for you. But I just sort of wanted to.
This is how you set up a virtual machine, though.
Yeah, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? I mean,
it's very easy. I was like thinking, okay, here we go.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, this is some good stuff. And these virtual machines, you never know when you might need a virtual machine for something.
You never know.
Yeah. For some reason, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video next. Let's see if they're right. Or you can select this playlist, which I've selected for you based on the content you're currently watching. Guys, got to hurry. Click one of them. Otherwise, YouTube's going to autoplay some other video.